This is the Romanov family tree. All the important stuff happened in this century, so we're gonna speed run it for you. In 1894, the future king, whose name we will learn shortly, was born in Finland. 4 years later, his father became the last Tsar of Russia. 2 years after that, World War I began, and the Tsarevich, as the heir to the throne, was evacuated deep into Russia with his mother and 3 sisters. His father stayed behind to keep an eye on the front lines. But while he was gone, the people of Russia got fed up with his royal family's inability to, do anything, and they overthrew the monarchy. The former royal family lived out the remainder of the war in exile, in a small village in Siberia. After the war, they made their way to Crimea, where they reunited with some of their family members who had remained there, and lived in a small cottage near the beach. It was here that the family was finally reunited when the boy, who was now a man, married his cousin, and the love of his life, which made her the new Tsarevna. They settled down in St. Petersburg, where the man took his wife's last name and officially became a member of the Russian nobility. A few years later, their first child, a boy, was born and was immediately given the title of Junior Prince of the Russian Empire, because at this point, they were still hoping for a restoration of the monarchy. But their second child, a girl, was less of a priority and was simply named Maria. In 1924, the man's father died and he inherited the title of Senior Prince, which made him the head of the Romanov family and responsible for all of its members. A year later, the family fled to France to escape the increasingly communist Russia. In 1931, the man and his brother both fell ill with the Spanish flu pandemic, and upon his death, his widow became the principal caregiver for both her sick husband and 2 young children, as well as her own ailing father. She managed to get her brother-in-law out of the hospital and back to their family cottage in the south of France, where he eventually recovered. But 5 years later, the family was once again on the move, this time to Belgium, where they settled down in a small village. Here, the family lived out the remainder of World War II, although they did travel to Switzerland for a time to escape the advancing Nazis. In 1960, the former Tsar's widow died and was buried next to her husband in St. Petersburg. 5 years later, the man died as well and was buried next to his parents. His wife outlived him by 17 years and is the only surviving member of the Romanov family.